in the Florida Everglades. Massive Burmese python, another record-setting python. This beast, 215 pounds and stretched almost 18 feet long. It is the heaviest female python ever captured in Florida, and a record 122 eggs found inside her belly. Also found in the stomach, bobcat claws and hooves still intact. Look at that. Well, according to the state, Burmese pythons are not native to Florida, and they do negatively impact the native species. They are found primarily in and around the Everglades ecosystem in southern Florida, where they prey on birds, mammals, and a lot of other reptiles. They do quite a bit of damage, and this comes a few weeks before the state's official Python Challenge launches, announced earlier this month by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as a way to save the ecosystem. Joining us now, the Python project manager and wildlife biologist who captured this record-breaking Burmese python, Ian Bartosik. Ian, great to see you. When I heard about this catch, I envisioned a scene from the movie Anaconda. Let's roll the clip. So I'd be screaming. I'm imagining that it went a little bit differently, you capturing this massive python. Give us the rundown on this big snake.
Well, hello, quite a bit differently. And first off, this was very much a team effort. So there's another biologist here, Ian Easterling, and my intern, Kyle Finley. And so we have had a successful capture season, and this record-breaking snake was found by staying hot on the tail of a male scout snake, a radio transmitter male python that led us to this female. His name was Dion, and he turned out to be our MVP, most valuable python of the season. So you put together tracking all these scout snakes, of which we have 40 of them in our arsenal right now, and with some tough field stomping abilities, we got after this animal in the Picayune Strand State Forest, and we severely underestimated the size of this animal until we got the snake back to the lab.
Yeah.
And when we put
So tell us, give us the numbers on how big, how much it weighed, and what you found inside.
So this python approaches 18 feet in length, and it's the largest captured in the invaded range at 215 pounds. But more interesting, when we had National Geographic here in our python lab and opened her up in a necropsy, she had 122 developing eggs. So that was a record right there. And also inside the digestive tract, she had digestive material of fur and white-tailed deer hoof cores. And this is very much why we're on this assignment. This is the why. These invasive snakes are having tremendous ecological damage throughout the greater Everglades ecosystem, and removing a big female python like this stopped 122 hatchling pythons from developing in the system.
Yeah, I know that Governor DeSantis has made this a big mission of his to make sure that they rid the Everglades of these invasive species. Let's listen to him for a moment.
It's unbelievable what they will ravage when they're there. They're not native here. You know, how it got in here, I mean, there's a long history of that. But the reality is they can exact serious destruction on the overall ecosystem.
So what else, Ian, do pythons eat, and how invasive and problematic have they been over the last decade?
Well, this is one of the largest snake species on the planet, and research colleagues at the University of Florida have identified 24 species of mammal, 47 species of bird, and 2 reptile species, and counting, from the bellies of pythons. So this is what we would refer to as a generalist apex predator. And the question I would propose is, what do you think it took in native wildlife to make a python 215 pounds? We'd have to see it to believe it. So the moral of the story is, don't underestimate the Burmese python.
Right. And real quick before I run out of time, people have these things as pets. What do you think about that?
I think there's better choices of pets. This is the learning lesson. The Burmese python is very much out of the bag. And so here is an example of now an established invasive animal across the greater Everglades. There's a learning lesson here for all of us.
Wow, 18 feet long, 215 pounds, and with deer hooves in her belly. Incredible catch, Ian. Thank you for sharing it with us tonight.
Thanks so much.
And who knew the hero in it all was the scout snake Dion. All right, check this out. A customer buying a Slurpee turns into a crime fighter after someone tries to assault a 7-Eleven employee. It happened in Chicago, but a new policy there would prevent police from chasing this suspect. We'll explain next. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.